Okay, I have some time to kill before I go into work here. Looks like there's some kind of event going on tonight, so that's good. Even though I won't be making money yet, I'll just be working the happy hour training again. And I'm wore out, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I don't feel like doing any of this. I don't feel like training, I don't feel like working, I don't feel like getting a new job. Even though I have 2 new jobs. You know, I really would much rather be working my old job and my old life with medical marijuana from home and having my kids and all of these things. So I just wanted to, but I have to. This is what I have to do. I have to work. So I wanted to update everybody on the legal stuff going on. So I don't like talking about it. It stresses me out. But so a couple things that went down all at once that were all actually separate things. So I was still dealing with the strangulation felony, which was originally a simple assault that Gino had upped on me to a strangulation like a month and a half after he had me put in our local jail here for a couple hours on a Sunday morning before my son's football game. So that was that. So I've been going through all kinds of stress and agony with all kinds of different attorneys and all of these things to try to get these charges dropped. So I was getting ready to go to trial, and I had a trial date. And before the trial, there's something called the call. And the call is like something that you go to before a trial to basically say, yes, we are taking this to trial. Well, I didn't know that you had to do that multiple times. So I had already gone to the call one time, and I thought it was good. And then Gino, the letter for the new call went to Gino's house, okay, where Gino is living in my old house. And he did not bother to give it to me. So if he could have just been like, hey, Jen, you got some important court documents here, you know, he could have done that, but he didn't. So therefore, I missed the call. And they put a warrant out for my arrest because I missed the call, okay? So during this time, I had recorded myself on the phone in the courthouse, in the treasurer's office. Me talking on the phone to the treasurer lady, recording myself, okay? Illegal. That's called wiretapping. So, in the meantime, these charges were about to come out, but like I had already done the wiretapping, and then I hadn't responded to Gino and the Wizard, which is this family parent app that we talk on, and he likes to message me and control me if I, tell me he's going to take me to court if I don't respond to his every message. It's stressful for me to get messages from him, so I wasn't responding at one point because we had been fighting and all this crazy stuff, and I didn't respond to a couple messages. Well, he then, and I didn't let the kids go like one Tuesday because he wasn't going to be available on time as usual. It was going to be like an hour. The kids didn't want to go. It was getting late. So anyways, he likes to take me to court and get me in trouble for stuff like this. So they had an emergency hearing that I was not aware of, okay? So I was not aware of the emergency hearing. I was firing my attorney because he's sending me out doing my own work. This is why I was in the treasurer's office trying to obtain my transcript, because I'm out doing my own work for multiple attorneys, for a criminal attorney and for my divorce attorney, doing my own work, filing my own paperwork based on their advice, getting paperwork for them that they need. So there was an emergency hearing. I did not know that there was an emergency hearing, okay, because nobody told me. So they had an emergency hearing on Monday, and since I didn't show up, they decided that they were going to send police to my house to take my kids, okay? This is what this judge decided was the best option for the mother not showing up for court, okay? Police force take the kids, give them to the father who doesn't even know my address, and I have a PFA against who I have begged the courts to not allow him to know my address. Him and his girlfriend showed up to take my kids, and they did, with the police. And they give me this order, and, you know, which I've saw a bunch of attorneys about this order, which people are saying there's no reason for it, and I can get it turned around, and all of these things. Not to follow it, but everyone wants $5,000, you know. So, and in the meantime of this happening, these wiretapping charges came out. So then I find out there is something for my arrest for wiretapping. So this is when I end up with Blaine Jones as my attorney. Blaine Jones was going to have me arraigned for the wiretapping. The news was going to be there, and he was going to have me arraigned to where I did not have to go to jail, is what he told me. I paid him $500. Well, in the meantime, he realizes that, oh, you missed the call too, you know, and there's a warrant out for your arrest for this. Now, normally when you miss a call, it's a bench warrant, okay? And a bench warrant is where you just go to jail for 24 hours, okay? Well, they put out like a much more serious warrant than a bench warrant for me, okay? They wanted to revoke my bond, to where that means I had no bond to get out. And this is for the strangulation against Gino, which he could drop even still, but he refuses. So my bond was revoked for the strangulation, and Blaine Jones told me to, he said, so you're going to have to go to jail while I get this worked out. I'm like, you have to get this worked out so that I don't go to jail at all, because that's what you did for me with the wiretapping, supposedly. And this is what I want done with the bench warrant. She's like, well, you know, so basically he's like, okay, lay low, and I'll see what I can do. So me laying low was driving all around the country making videos, waiting to hear back from him to tell me that it's all worked out. Jen was like, were you ever going to turn yourself in? No, I was not going to turn myself in. I thought it was all getting worked out. So basically, when he told me to lay low and he would get it worked out, he did nothing after that. And so police were looking for me, and they were showing up at work at my clinics looking for me. They were going to my friends' houses looking for me, and Gino's house, and looking all over for me. My house, which I had put up on, I had gone to my house one last time, and there was people banging on the door the one day. I didn't know if it was police. I didn't know if it was Gino's girlfriend. I didn't know who was banging on the door the one day that I snuck back into my house to take a nap when I was in town working clinic or whatever I was planning on doing that weekend. Sorry, this is just a lot. So the police, I ended up, I was afraid to be at my house because people were banging. I loaded up my car with, I had a feeling I would never be back again. I loaded up my car with all my most prized possessions, which I was running through my backyard, through the neighbor's house, into the church parking lot, back and forth, which was a major workout, I recall. And then I put that in the Yellow Springs storage unit, those things, which got pitched mostly by my dad. So that's why they took the kids, and that's why I didn't have a bond for a while, is because my bond was revoked. So when I went back to my house, finally, when I was at my wit's end, no sleep, no food, whatever, for a while, a long time, no place to go, really, no kids, warrants, I was in a state of shock and panic. And yeah, and my therapist was continuing to tell me to continue doing my videos and do not stop doing the videos, no matter who would tell me they're a great memoir for the future or whatever. The dog thief. So, which that's another story. So, Jen did talk to Emily today, and Emily, my attorney, and she mentioned the dog situation, and I'm to do nothing about it at this point. So I'm still facing criminal charges for the wiretapping, and I have to mind my P's and Q's. So I'm now a reformed YouTuber. I'm not going to be calling people out in any way, shape, or form at this point in time. And that includes waiting until later for the dog, which, whatever that means, I don't know what can be done later. But that was what Emily said to me today. So I went to jail for the wiretapping, which the bond was set at $25,000. And then I was also arrested, or whatever, I rearrested for strangulation for missing the call, which they revoked. They revoked my bond for that. So I couldn't pay the other bond to get out because it was revoked for the strangulation. And Gino knew this, and he could drop the charges, but he refused. Okay. So I sat in jail until finally I got Emily Smarto, thank God, appointed to the case, my new attorney. And she was able to get the ball rolling. She was able to unrevoke my bond, to where I had no bond and I didn't have to for the strangulation. And Gino had to come to court, and he was sitting there with his court advocate, and I had talked a little bit about that. And then she needed somebody to pay my bond for the wiretapping immediately to get me out of jail, because it's best to have people out of jail who are facing trial. So that's when Laura came through and paid my bond for me to get out of jail. So that's like 7% or 7.5% of the $25,000. Which they had all these stipulations on me and wanting me to wear an ankle bracelet, which I really did not want to do. That would make my life way more hell. It would just be way worse. That would suck to have to be wearing an ankle bracelet right now and trying to go to work and all of this. So I prayed and prayed and prayed, and this attorney was able to get that overturned, where I don't have to wear an ankle bracelet. So part of my so they did offer me time served for the strangulation, which dropped back to a misdemeanor, simple assault, which is better than a strangulation felony. I don't know that I'm for sure taking that. I'm just waiting to hear what my attorney is going to tell me to do on that. So I have another call coming up on January 21st for the strangulation. Then January 22nd, I have plea court, as long as none of these things get postponed, for the wiretapping. So they are wanting me to do 9 to 24 months, which means 9 months in jail, and then the rest probation. And then they lowered it to 6 months to 24. And Emily thinks that we can win. So she said she's done a lot of research on the wiretapping, and she thinks that we have a lot of grounds to win. So I sure hope so, because I do not want to go back to jail for any length of time at all. And so I'm wanting to restart my life, but in the meantime, I have to wait out this trial, and, I would hate to get a new place, deposit, all of these things, to lose it again if I have to go back. Which I don't even have the money to do so, but I'm working. Money is going to be coming at some point here soon. Thank God. So yeah, I don't know. So then Gino had talked to Jen recently, saying that he now wants to meet and work it all out, like agree on everything, so we don't have to go before the master. Which going before the master means he's going to be paying out to me. Going to be for the master is like the best thing that could happen to me in this divorce. However, if he was willing to work things out, so if that means getting my kids back and not going through these custody hearings and not going through all of these other divorce hearings, blah, 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 if we can just agree, then let's do that. But I'm not allowed to be around him. He wants me to drop the PFA too. So how convenient, he wants me to drop the PFA after he's still going to slap me with simple assault charge at least. and he just let me sit in jail for all this time, and now he wants to work things out. So it's funny because at one point when I was first in jail, Jen said Gino had no plans of keeping the kids. No plans, you know. He definitely doesn't want that. Then as time went on, he said to her he did want to keep them, full custody, and how it's going to be war and all these things she believed, because that's what he said. And I'm like, Jen, you can't believe him. He changes his mind so much. He changes his mind so much. Oh, no, he's serious, Jen, blah, blah, blah. Well, there's 2 times he's changed his mind. So then now he's calling her saying he wants to work it all out, whatever that means. So we don't have to go before these judges, which is ideal, but I can't trust him. But I don't have money to fork over. I don't have money to fork over to a divorce attorney either, because they all want at least like $5,000 up front and all of this. So I just emailed his attorney today. Hi, Eric. We have a relocation hearing coming up still in February. I am not planning on relocating at this time. I'm not even allowed to leave the state, for one. Can you please cancel this hearing? I would like to get my kids back and see my kids. Can you please, can we please make arrangements for me to get my kids back and to get my spousal and child support back? Please let me know. Thank you, Jennifer Jeswally. So that I just sent that today. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if we can make a deal or whatever for me to just get the kids back. So if maybe he doesn't want to go to the master because he doesn't want to pay out, I'll take less to give me my kids back. But at the same time, we just have to hope and pray that I don't have to do any more jail time either. So that's where I'm at. I just wanted to explain why I was in jail, like kind of like what's going on and what those things that happened to me with the bond being revoked for the strangulation, the wiretapping charge being something totally different, and then my kids being taken for something totally different as well. So that's where we're at, and I'm getting ready to go into work now.